Hello, Scorpio. Happy June. How are you? I hope you're all right. Hope you're doing well. This is going to be a reading, as I say, for the sign of Scorpio for June 2025. And this month I am using the pocket version of the Wild Unknown Tarot. And since it's in a tin, the Oracle of the Victorian Symbols and Gothic Tales by the wonderful Maria Alves Hernando. And we're just going to dive in and see what's happening. Okay, so we'll put this up here, Scorpio. And we will pull a oracle from the Oracle Victorian Symbols and we'll see what it is. This always reminds me of Scorpio energy, this deck. Because the creator actually, she is a Scorpio moon. She is a Scorpio moon or a Scorpio ascendant. So there is a depth of Scorpio energy going on here. Right, what's coming up? Okay, so the card that you have got coming up, Scorpio, is Pincushion. And in the Victorian times, this was an essential piece of kit for any lady. For her needlework, for her mending and sewing, you know, for anything to do with that. So it could have been like a fine lady who, you know, sewed for pleasure and sewed for entertainment, or it could have been like a lady's maid. And what's coming through to me is, you know, that sort of a maid-like energy. It's like, what is going on with you just now, Scorpio, where it feels like you're being, you know, you're behaving like somebody's pincushion. You know, it's like they're like just doing all these, you know, when you get stung, like when you get like pricked with a pin, it's not like as if it's like a massive sword or anything, you know. It's no, you know, it just maybe draws a wee spot of blood or something. But if you add a lot of them up, then it's going to have like an upsetting effect and a dangerous, potentially dangerous effect on you, Scorpio. And I think that's where this is speaking to. There feels like there's something going on where there's somebody just taking tiny wee bits of you and just saying, no, we'll just annoy them there. We'll just do another wee thing to annoy Scorpio. And it, you know, it's almost like they're goading you, you know, just taking tiny wee parts of you. And then it's like, you know, the number 23, we add that together, we get 5. I mean, 5 is a number of chaos generally. Like sudden changes, unknown factors coming into play. So, you know, this month you could see something like that happening. So that's energy that's coming up for that. Now let's get into the reading proper and we'll see. Now, I am notoriously difficult or challenged. Notoriously challenged, shall we say, Scorpio, for shuffling smaller decks. I'm going to try my best. I've been using the Wild Unknown this week while I'm filming this for my personal draws, and it's been very illuminating. And I used it to record one of the weekly readings. I think it's the one coming up. The next one is I'm sitting here. But yeah, it's oops, right, okay, so right, 3 of Swords just came out. Interesting. We're going to see what else. We're going to where am I going to leave that? I'm going to leave that up there tonight, right? And then we're going to go. I'm going to go with this. Oh, hello, Scorpio. Oh, what's going on with you? Hello. Right. Okay, let's move this up a wee bit here. Now see, I get a new phone. I recorded my phone, Scorpio, or what the weekly readings I record on my laptop. But these readings I do on my phone, right? So I think you should be okay to see everything there. Hi, look at you showing up for yourself, Scorpio. In this deck, the court cards go like this. Court cards are daughters are pages, sons are knights, mothers are queens, and kings are, or sorry, fathers are kings. Okay, pretty easy. It's easier to understand than me right now. But anyway, right, so let's see what is going on, because we have got a lot going on in this spread. Remember when I picked up in the 2 and the 3 added together is 5, and it's that chaotic, difficult, challenging energy, Scorpio? Right at the heart of your spread, you have got the 5 of Pentacles. Now this is a card of Taurus, your polar opposite in the zodiac, and to be fair, Taurus is showing up very strongly in these cards. And we'll get to that in a second. But what we've got here is we've got the Fool, we have got the Page of Pentacles, we have got the Page of Cups, we've got the Ace of Pentacles, we've got the 5 of Pentacles, the Empress, the Queen of Pentacles, the Hierophant, and the 2 of Swords. And as I say, we've got that 3 of Swords that jumped out, and at the bottom of the deck we have got you, the court card that represents you, the Father of Cups, which is the King of Cups. Scorpio, it feels like there is so much opportunity this month. So much opportunity for you to forget about the past and, you know, take that step into the future. It's like this cycle is just, you know, it could be, I mean, it could be Pluto. It could be Pluto going into Aquarius. It could be the fact that Saturn has moved into Aries. You know, it could be that, because like it just feels like there's all this opportunity for growth and for rebirth, renewal. But it doesn't even feel like renewal. It feels like, I don't know, obviously, what's happened to every individual Scorpio that watches this in the month of May, but it feels like something has happened to you and something's shifted inside you, Scorpio. It's almost like there's this need and desire within you to be a better person. And I'm not saying every Scorpio is a horrible person, right? Not at all. But there's like this need and desire to be a better person. In saying that, you have got 2 cards that can indicate loss, but in a different way. Okay, so it's like you've got that 3 of Swords there, and normally, if you know tarot, you know that's traditionally the card where you've got the heart and you've got the 3 swords going through the heart. But what I like about the Wild Unknown version of this is there is no heart, but it's that red string. You know, it's that red string holding those swords together. So it feels very much where the swords can cut away the red threads if they want, but it's like it's more defensive for me in this deck. That card, it's not so much about heartache, it's about keeping things held together. And I think that there's a real sense of wanting to keep things held together, wanting to keep yourself held together, because it feels as well, you know, there's been, for such a long time, you have been in a particular energy, you have been in a particular mode, if you like, and you know the rhythm of that. But all of a sudden, you know, something's come bursting into your life, or someone perhaps has came bursting into your life, and it's like, oh shit, you know, what do I do? What choices do I make? And it's this beginning energy, and it's complementary energy. We've got the Daughter of Pentacles, the Daughter of Cups. Now, take away like the gender or whatever, right? So pages, daughters, What it means is it's that beginning initiatory energy. Okay, it's that, like, that innocence. Even though, you may be well versed in, been round the block a few times, Scorpio, haven't we all? But there's this kind of a raw need or desire, this raw desire to really take on something new, to really explore something new in the month of June. Um, Now, it could be that there is a Taurus in your life, or it could be just that you you maybe met somebody, or what I'm talking about here began, the very first shoots and beginning and steps of it happened in Taurus season, because we've got the Hierophant, which is Taurus, we've got the Empress, which is Venus, and Venus is the ruling planet of Taurus. As I say, it's your polar opposite, Scorpio. And when I was putting the cards out here, I was like, so is Scorpio not going to show up for itself? And then obviously I turned the deck over to the bottom of the deck, and there you are there. The Black Swan. And I feel like, that in itself is significant, because I always speak to this card as the shadow card. And if you're, and one of the things about Scorpio is you know yourself, you're so happy to be in the shadows, that's where you exist, that's where you excel. But really and honestly, it's as if you don't want to do that anymore, because the coloration, whilst it's very mild in this deck, when there is colour, it's very impactful. And what it feels like to me is, with this Five of Pentacles right in the middle of the deck, it feels like, there's your shadow, if you like, there's your darkness, Scorpio, and you're this rose, and it's like you're crying. You're crying because you don't want to sit in this darkness anymore. It's like you want to start something new. You don't like it's not that you don't like the darkness, it's just that you want to be held in the light. That's the words that's coming through to me. You want to be held in the light, and you want somebody to go into the darkness to find you. And that's what it feels like, and it's the fact that it's like it's pointing towards this Empress and this beautiful tree. Again, there's even deeper darkness, but that's what illuminates this tree so much, because it is at the backdrop of the darkness of the night. We've got the crescent moon there, so there's very little light in the night sky, but at the same time, this Empress is just radiating that energy of being alive with something. It's like proof of life. The Empress, what's coming through here, it's like that proof of life. You've got this Ace of Pentacles here. There is so much, like, we've got the Fool, we've got the Ace of Pentacles, we've got these two pages, and it's just, and then it's like the Empress again is often associated with new life, gestation, it's like being pregnant with ideas, that kind of thing. And it's like birthing new things, birthing new opportunities, Scorpio. And that's what it feels like this month, for the month of June. It's like take the opportunities. The Mother of Pentacles, it's a card of Capricorn. But even in saying that, it just feels like that nurturing energy. We've got this gentle deer and our baby here, our little wee Bambi. And that's what it feels like. It feels like there's this deep need and sense this month, the month of June, for you to feel nurtured, Scorpio. For somebody to nurture you, or something to nurture. The Hierophant's there to remind you about who you are, Scorpio, about these lessons that you need to learn, or these lessons that you have been learning. And even though you may be you may not be used to showing your vulnerability, but this month it's like it could be learning to show your vulnerability, or this internal battle that's going on with you. It's not so much heart and head, it's like you against you, and how much do you share? Because it's like you're not necessarily comfortable with sharing like your deepest darkest thoughts. I mean, who is, let's face it. um but it's almost like this compulsion this month. You feel that you have to say all the things. It's as if some of you have been sitting on things that you've wanted to say, and you've been sitting on them for such a long time, and it's like, well, if I don't say them now, when will I ever get to say them? That's what it feels like, because there is a lot of verbal anguish going on, but it's a very physical spread of cards. It's like you've got earth, you've got water. I mean, you do have fire and air as well, but it's to a lesser degree. So this makes me feel like whatever is going on, it's something physical, as in it's something that is tangible, Scorpio. It's something in the here and now. It's something that it's not just like an abstract idea. There's form to this idea, there's form to this situation, whatever it is, and it feels like you've began something, or you want to begin something, and you're just not quite sure how to. It just, it's like, and that's where that Two of Swords is coming in. It's like the kind of a, should I, shouldn't I, could I, should I, it's all those back and forth questions. And it's like swinging like a pendulum. It's like, should you? Well, I could. Oh no, I can't. It's like, what do I do here? What do I say? What do I feel? What does the other person feel? What do the other people feel about this situation? There's so much to consider. There's also so much to consider about other people who are close to you. What would their reaction be? That's the sort of thing you have to you're thinking about as well, and that could be what is causing you the mental anguish. It's like you've got a two and a three of swords. So it's like these cross swords here, the two of swords. It's like the cross swords are preventing you from getting to that sunshine. It's preventing you from getting to this this other side, and if it's you that's preventing yourself, why are you doing that? Scorpio, ask yourself, why are you doing that? Why are you self-sabotaging? And it's like one of the things about the Two of Swords, which I absolutely love, it's the moon in Libra, okay? And what it feels like to me is you're preventing yourself because you're so afraid that something will go wrong, that you'll say something wrong, that you'll do something wrong, that somebody will be hurt, or you'll be hurt, or something. But it's like the key word in the thought deck for the Two of Swords is peace. And many people don't understand that. But my thoughts on it is the peace element comes from making the decision, no matter whatever the decision is. That's entirely up to you, Scorpio. But what I would say is just make the decision, make the choice. It is Gemini season after all, ruled by the lovers. If you want to make the choice, then this is a perfect opportunity to do so. And I think that will be so beneficial for you, Scorpio. Just, yeah, just take the chance. Take the chance to make the choice. Okay, my darlings, just take good care, and I will see you next month. Bye.